Something tells me this is our sorry.
Since we smuggled that filthy creature off-world.
Something tells me you're into purple.
First a Justicar shows up. Now you. At least I can take pleasure in turning your head into a pulpy mass.
Oh, rude. Extremely rude. Okay, so here's Captain Wasseya. She is the boss of this encounter. Oh, Lids, I thought it was the gunship. No, not the gunship. It's her. She is tougher, as we can see here. Rather than the one layer of defenses that gunship had, just armor, she has 3 barriers, armor, and health. So at least in that sense, she is tougher. And the other thing of note is, it's not a coincidence that you just saw her toss something at us. Remember the whole, oh, there are these toxic canisters all over the place, or at least the red misty stuff that deals damage to us if we stay in it for too long, even if it makes our biotics stronger. Yeah, she throws those at us. So we do need to stay mobile, but we also would like to damage her as much as possible, of course. We'd like to do so as quickly as possible. There it goes. We went for Miranda that time. She will spawn friends. So a Sisterhood Initiate, again, is functionally, more or less, one of the Eclipse Vanguards. However, worth noting that I do believe these random friends that you will get will respawn infinitely. So, I mean, we can take them out if we feel like we're getting overwhelmed, but we'd ideally like to cause as much damage to Captain Wasseya as quickly as possible and just take her out as quickly as possible. That way, we just minimize the total number of additional friends that she brings along with her. So,
heavy weapons.
But she is a biotic, of course. She is a biotic, of course. And, we did get nailed by those biotics. And, that's a heavy somewhere. And that's not cool. Okay, so she's down to armor. That's cool. That means that now Morton is much more relevant with his anti-armor abilities. Let's make sure that Morton is actually behind this cover here. Miranda, you are doing fine there, but let's make sure you actually stay there. We are going to have to stay fairly mobile, because Pitney 4 is going to continue to throw stuff at us. But, oh, that Sister Initiate is right in front of her. And we can pull you. Get you out of the way. So you're the one we care about. Warp also works well on armor. Again, why Miranda is so good for this encounter. She's getting weak, for what it's worth. Okay. The Sisterhood Initiate is not doing so great at the moment. Alright, we can incinerate you, and we can pull you. So she is incapacitated at the moment. We'd love to warp her once Miranda's off cooldown, except right on cue, Miranda has died from the heavy. Thank you, Miranda. We may not need to resurrect her, though. We're close. We are close to getting this done here. The problem is, obviously, it would have been ideal to use Miranda to take out Captain Wasseya, although we may have just gotten rid of her. I imagine that even if we do, though, we still need to get rid of the other friends, such as this Sisterhood Initiate. Is Wasseya still up? If so, she's back in the corner there. Okay, let's see, who would we like to prioritize getting rid of? I think we finish off this Initiate here with Morn's Incinerate, because it's good against health, but not so good against barriers. Which is why we have the shotgun. Really? You got in the way. We hit that dead Initiate instead. Fortunately, Pull has a quick cooldown. So now you're incapacitated as well. In fact, I think you're just dead. And there's one more enemy here. It might even be the captain. Whoever it is, they're hiding in the corner. Let's maybe use Morton, try to fish them out. Oh, it's the heavy. It's the heavy. Okay, it's not over yet. We did, fortunately, get their shields, but gotta be careful of the toxicity. I think that was the last of them, though.
Likely the ship name Samara requires.
And there you go. So we took down Wasseya relatively quickly and efficiently. In fact, technically speaking, don't kill her that quickly. You will run up to a different area, and so we did successfully kill her before she did that. Now, no worries. It's not like we missed anything by doing that. There's nothing else in that area when it comes to loot or anything of that sort. So, we're fine in that sense. Just a little bit more efficient. Notably this time, the red misty stuff did not go away. So we can technically still accidentally kill ourselves if we're not careful. But, there is an Eclipse Terminal that we can hack. Let's check that out before we look at Wasseya's datapad. Okay, I'm not good at the hacks, but that's a good start, as is that. Now, if you want to give me all the things that we need right off the bat, that'd be lovely. There we go. Quick and easy one. So that's 3,000 credits. Anything else in the area that we might want or need? Besides, obviously, datapad, which I believe is the quest item in question. But, like, are you hiding anything in these corners? Not in that one, at least. Obviously, there's some of the red misty stuff here. We never really made a deliberate point of using to power up our biotics. I mean, it's not going to be a huge factor for what we have. I mean, I'm pretty sure it increases the duration of pull, and then might have gotten that to happen once or twice. Would probably increase the damage of charge, maybe damage of shockwave as well, but you know, we're just not using those all that frequently. They're more situational. So I think the last thing we have here is just the datapad. Let's nab it. There's a Justicar here. Probably looking for the one we sent off on the AML Demeter. I was happy to see her go. She chilled me to the bone. I just hope this Justicar doesn't mess up my operations.
That must be the ship Samara was looking for.
Want to head back now, or look around first?
So, you can pick this up first thing in this room, and then, you know, if you did not yet get the chance to hack that other spot that we hacked, then you should probably say, look around and make sure that you do the hack. I'm pretty confident, though, that we've now gotten everything in the room, though, so we should be good to go.
Let's give her the name and keep moving.
Okay, so once again, we're back out here. Once again, won't be able to go back through this way, so, again, important that the first time you go through there, you get everything.
Cops don't admit it, but the Eclipse sisters run this area.
Yeah, that's what you were telling us previously. Of course, remember, there are a few things of interest now. We have the main quest. We did successfully find the information that Samara was looking for, so we can bring the name of the ship to her. But, remember, we also have a few other things that we might want to follow up on. The stolen goods we found early on. Not sure there's necessarily going to be anyone that we need to talk to about this immediately, but remember the smuggling evidence. Evidence has been found linking Pitney 4 to smuggling operations. Both Pitney 4 and Detective Anaya would be interested in this information. So that means we should be looking for one of those two. That's Niftu Cal, which is the biotic god, so obviously we're going to talk to him. We are honored to be in his presence.
I don't know what they put in me, but I thought I was... Well, you saw. Anyway, thank you, Shepard.
I mean, still a biotic god in my book. So Pitney 4 was here previously, but he has moved around a lot. Now he's right there. So we have the option to give it to him. Of course, it's incriminating evidence of him. Or we can give it to Anaya, the cop.
I wanted to be a Justicar when I was young. Every Asari does, I guess.
So, well, I mean, you can probably guess the general outcome based on who you give this information to. So, needless to say, no, we're gonna give it to Anaya. Let's chat with her first.
If you have something that'll encourage the Justicar to leave, show it to her.
Or, perhaps, we actually need to talk to Samara first.
I've got the name of the ship. Your fugitive left here 2 days ago on the AML Demeter.
Shepard, you impress me. You fulfilled your part of the bargain, and I will fulfill mine.
Okay, that's a good sign.
I am ready to leave immediately, if that will satisfy your superiors, Detective.
You're free to go, Justicar. It has been an honor having you in my station. And it's nice you didn't kill me, too.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. We heard about this Arda Yakshi thing, and we still don't have a lot of information about Ardak Yakshi, but, can you maybe tell us a little bit more about them?
The Eclipse smuggled an Ardak Yakshi off-world. She's who you're really after, isn't she?
You continue to impress. Yes, I was here tracking the Ardat Yakshi. She is a dangerous criminal, and I will bring her to justice. After your mission is complete, of course.
Okay. In that case, I mean, this is, a little bit aggressive. So, no, we'll meet you aboard the ship in that case. Good to have her.
The Normandy is docked near the main trading floor. I'll see you aboard.
I must be sworn to your service so that I am never forced to choose between your orders and the code.
Oh, okay. Sure.
By the code, I will serve you, Shepard. Your choices are my choices. Your morals are my morals. Your wishes are my code.
I never thought I'd see a Justicar swear an oath like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like
If you
that's
make
their
me do
type of
anything
thing.
Extremely dishonorable. I may need to kill you when I'm released from my oath.
Oh. Yeah, maybe not so honored about that whole, you're kind of sort of threatening to kill us thing, but honored to have you on board.
I can see that this is a very important act, Samara. Thank you.
Truly, the life of a Justicar can get lonely. I admit I am looking forward to serving with a company of honorable heroes. Shall we return to your ship?
Do we tell her about the Cerberus thing? The whole thing where Cerberus is, maybe not exactly the most honorable of groups? Yeah, so here's the thing. We do have business to attend to with Anaya. So, worth noting, if you say yes, you will go straight back to the Normandy, the ship, and you will not ever get the chance to come back to this specific area. It will permanently be inaccessible. So for that reason, if you have not spoken to Nifu Cal, and you have not yet spoken to Anaya, which, as we just saw, you can't do until you first speak to Samara, then make sure that you say not yet, or I still have business to attend to with Anaya, because otherwise you won't get the chance to turn in the information to complete that side quest. And you're just missing experience in that case.
I need to speak to the detective.
Thanks for getting Samara out of my district. I can tell my granddaughters about meeting a Justicar. And you've just upped my chances of living long enough to have grandkids.
Oh, so you don't have grandkids. Gotcha. Well, see, here's the thing. We found the murderer.
I have proof that Eclipse killed the Volus merchant.
Let's see what you got there. Interesting. But I can't verify it. It would be inadmissible.
I vouch for Shepard, and any evidence he brings forward.
Thanks.
I accept the judgment of the Justicar. Thanks, Shepard. I wasn't sure about trusting a stranger, and a human at that. But you came through. It's
Alright,
a shame Miss Elnora
casually a
escaped,
little bit racist, but
I'll
sure.
get her. At least you put her on the run. Okay, enough with all the congratulations. I've still got a spiraling crime rate.
So, that was the aspect of, we figured out who the murderer was, and it was Elnora, the Asari that we met in that room, who was trying to act all innocent that we were talking about previously, but in truth was actually the murderer. But, that technically is not a side quest, that's just sort of, well, closing a loose end. But, there is the aspect of the whole smuggling information, and that is a side quest, and we have not yet done anything with that. So, what we can do is, as I said, we could return to the Normandy, head back to the ship, and just never come back here again, and therefore never be able to finish that side quest. That kind of stinks, so no thanks. We could say goodbye, walk away, and then proceed to, well, give that information to Pitney 4 instead, or we could just say, nah, we'll give that information to Detective Anaya here, and confirm that he is in fact a smuggler. And, as I was saying, yeah, we're definitely going to do that rather than give it to Pitney 4, because, well, he is a criminal. And we are not here to support the criminals.
I have proof that Pitney 4 smuggled in red sand and illegal weapons tech.
I'll send in some officers to arrest him and his cohorts. This is a big help, Shepard. I can't do much to thank you, but we do have a small discretionary bounty fund. Take this.
Alright, awesome.
I'll be on my way.
Be well. Value the Justicar. I've never heard of one working with a human before.
I actually got renegade points? Excuse me? Actually, not sure from what. Yeah, I was gonna say, expecting a lot of Paragon points. Not sure which aspect of that gave us the renegade points. To tell you the truth, I don't recall us doing anything particularly aggressive of the renegade sort. But, let's see, can we still chat with Pitney 4 here, or after having turned that stuff in, is he no longer here? He is here. Something tells me if we do tell him what we just did, he's not going to be terribly pleased with us.
I'm still grounded. What's going on?
Yeah, you know, let's just say you may be serving some time in prison. As for Tamara, anything
Ready
else
to
we
leave,
can
if you are. Shall we return to your ship?
chat with you with? Or chat with you about? The answer is we can go back to the ship now, and I think we're ready to do that. So I'm pretty sure, let's see, it's a mental checklist. We've done everything with Anaya. We had and got experience for that. We got, I think, credits for that. We got a bunch of Paragon points, a little bit of Renegade points, which we got a little bit distracted by that. But yes, all those other things happened as well. We spoke to Pitney 4 a little bit, Nif2Cal as well. As I was saying, you will never get the chance to come back here. So if you want to make a point of seeing what those people have to say, this is your last chance to do so. But having done that, I think we are now ready to head back.
Let's go.
So there we go. We get 1,000 experience for completing the mission. That'll give us enough to level up to level 18, so we'll get a couple of skill points from that. We've successfully recruited Samara, so a new member to the team. That's awesome. As we were reading from her description initially, and as we saw when we first met her, looks like she will be a very powerful biotic, so that's a great addition to the team in that case. We got the new Scimitar, which is an elite shotgun, but as we were saying, it's an upgrade to the base shotgun, yes, but probably still not nearly as good as the Get Plasma shotgun, so probably not something we're ever going to use. We did get the biotic damage upgrade as well. That's very nice. 40% biotic damage is a lot, and there may even be other things that are bottleneck behind biotic damage upgrades, so could mean we get additional upgrades down the line from that. Then credits as well. Ooh, it looks like we might have missed a source of credits somewhere, just based on how those numbers are not lining up. And 4,800 is pretty sizable at that, so that does hurt. I'm not entirely sure where we missed it, but okay, not pleased about that. But platinum, I'm pretty sure we got the only source of platinum, that one crate in the larger room. So there we go.
Welcome to the Normandy, Samara. We've studied your profile extensively. With your skills, I think you'll be an excellent addition to our team.
Thank you. From an organization such as yours, that is high praise indeed.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, it's... I wouldn't think that Cerberus would be an organization that you would hold in very high regard, but I suppose since Cerberus is very pro-human, and by extension, kind of anti every other species, having Cerberus praise an Asari is saying something. Yeah, Samara is powerful.
I've seen Samara's biotic powers at work. They're substantial.
We still don't know what we're going to find when we hit the collectors.
I will be prepared for whatever we encounter.
Where shall we put you?
A room that looks out on the great empty void would be most comforting.
That's a weird way to put that, but sure.
Thank you. I must meditate on the day's events.
Alright, so there are the upgrades we picked up, mostly biotic damage. Yeah, upgrade, singular. But most importantly, we of course picked up Samara as a new squad mate. So let's take a look at the research terminal. Make that upgrade, and we can afford it, so we'll definitely do so. And we'll see if that unlocks anything else, or I mean, just 40% biotic damage, that's still a ton, so good stuff. Weapon upgrades, we're fine there right now. Ship enhancements, I think we're still not urgent at the moment. Then other things here, still looking fine. So that's great. Let's, however, before we go any further, chat with Joker, see if he has anything to say on our most recent mission, because of course if we do walk around elsewhere, then he may no longer be talking about that mission.
So, Commander, even your Asari are trained killers? Get everyone at the same store or something?
It's true.
So, how do you think we're doing?
Well, the Normandy's not as ready as she could be. There's always more we could upgrade. And as for the crew, you'd have to ask a people person.
Alright, I imagine everything else will remain the same here.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last.
Unless he has
I
something
would
here.
never say anything against Miranda, and expect to survive the reprisal. No surprise, Morden acts superior to everyone, like he's got tenure at FU. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
Okay, what about things in the cockpit, though?
I assume everything is going well up here?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
Yeah, I think we've
That's
heard
it
that
for
one
now.
before. So,
See ya, Commander.
we got Joker's reaction to picking up Samara. And, of course, we may see that other squad mates could have a reaction picking her up as well, so we'll definitely chat around a little bit here. But, let's also take a look here. And, I suppose we didn't have the chance to see if Kelly was here to tell us if there were any unread messages, because there is one from Lisbeth Bainham. Now, that is a name that you may remember, may look somewhat familiar, from Mass Effect 1. It was Pharos. She was the scientist who we rescued, who was, basically kind of caught in the middle of the, Exogeny headquarters where there was a Baron infestation. Might have actually been the first time we encountered Baron. I think it was, because we did Pharos before we did Bring Down the Sky, didn't we? So, well, hey Shepard. I heard about what you did on Ilium, and I wanted to thank you for helping out Zew's Hope one more time. That's true, we did. What exactly was it? We were chatting with one of the Asari who was, actually, two of the Asari. No, okay, actually, the initial one I was thinking of was from Pharos, was from Novaria, not Pharos. The one that I was thinking of was the one that was hanging out with all the Rachni. It was acting a little bit funky, but we acted nice nonetheless. But the person that Lisbeth is probably referring to what's her name? Is it Shair, or is that the name of the consort? No, that is definitely the consort. I'm blanking out on her name, but she's the green Asari. The one that got eaten by the Thorian and was the basically conduit through which the Thorian was speaking to us. And by conduit, I mean not the actual conduit that sent us to the Citadel, but you know what I mean. The means through which the Thorian was speaking to us. So, and then she was like, "Oh, Shepard, please help, they're being mean and, treating the people who were on Pharos to some, scientific experiments against their will." And we were like, "Don't worry, we'll take care of it." We're surviving, if barely. Most of Exogeny left, but I stayed behind as an attaché? And to make sure that nothing was left of the Thorian. We don't need that problem again. Also, I'm really, really sorry that I shot you. Yeah, she may have shot us when we first met her, as sort of a reaction, "Oh my gosh, I thought you were an enemy," type of thing. I'm pretty sure I said that, but I just wanted to reiterate it. Good luck, and thanks. Zew's Hope is alive again because of what you did. Sincerely, Lisbeth Bainham. So, another update from people who we met and helped in Mass Effect 1. Always good to see that people are doing well, the people that we provided some help to. So then, the other thing I was going to say was checking out our team status so that we can see what the deal is with Samara. So here she is. Let's get some info on her. So as we expected her to be, she is a biotic, of course. Loyalty normal. Obviously, we haven't done her loyalty mission yet. She has Throw, Pull, and Reeve, which we have not ever seen or heard about yet, but is a new ability that at least once we do her loyalty mission, we'll get access to. Throw, do we have anyone who has Throw right now? Jacob? His Pull, right? Pull Field we just upgraded. Is she the only one who has Throw? She may be. Okay. Saeed certainly doesn't have Throw. It's a biotic ability. We obviously had it in Mass Effect 1 for many of our biotics, but at least in Mass Effect 2, she's the first person we've met to have it, and the combination of Throw and Pull is quite effective because, well, they're both biotic abilities. We've obviously seen Pull before, pulled them into the air, and Throw, well, for those of you unfamiliar with what we did in Mass Effect 1 with it, basically just pushes people kind of, Jedi Force style with quite a bit of force off in the distance, and so what happens is, if you combine those, pull them up into the air, put them in the, anti-grav state, and then proceed to immediately afterward throw them, then that's another combo of sorts, and it's, they'll usually fly a fair bit further, which can more easily allow you to, say, throw people off the edge of the map, which, at least in some cases, in some places, can be a very effective way to get rid of people. So, that's an interesting combo, and especially since we also have pull, can make Samara a good teammate, specifically pairing up with a Vanguard Shepard. So, she may be someone that we'll be looking to use a fair bit in the future. So, all the more reason for us to have picked her up here. Now let's chat a little bit more with the team.
Received a new message at your private terminal.
See, the thing is, Kelly, we have already read that message, unless someone has sent us a message in the past 3 seconds. They have not. Kelly, you're fired.
There is nothing more absolute than the oath of an Asari Justicar. You did well getting Samara on our side. She is so elegant and gorgeous. Too bad her manner is just so cold.
Yeah, say, anything else we should know about the crew?
Is there anything I should know?
Garrus received some news that put fire in his eyes. Maybe you should speak with him down in the main battery. Anything else, Commander?
Okay, sure.
Do you have
Other than that, anything?
I always have time for you, Commander.
Not really?
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
Maybe, yeah. So let's just see who, if anyone, has anything to say about us having picked up Samara.
Still need to get to Tuchanka, Shepard. My student's being held by Bloodpack.
And, so this is Morden's loyalty mission that he is referring to
I'll
here.
talk to you later, Morden.
We'll be here if you need
Which, of course, we will do, eventually. Just, not yet. Not quite yet. And Jacob over here to see if anything to say about Samara.
I hope we can clear up what's going on with the Gernsback, Commander. Doubt my father's alive after all this time. Was there anything else? Just eager to get going.
And, once again, not so surprisingly, he's also reminding us about his loyalty mission.
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
Alright, if you insist.
Commander.
So, that should be everybody on this floor. But,
Commander, I think you'll want to talk to Garrus.
thank you, Kelly. You told us 30 seconds ago. We go down to the crew quarters. We will find Miranda, Garrus, who, as Kelly keeps on reminding us, is in fact someone we definitely want to make a point of talking to now, as well as Samara, of course, she's brand new, and Kasumi as well. So let's go over there. Okay. So, let's see. Shall we start with Samara? Perhaps we shall. So this is a new area of the ship that we've not yet been able to go to, because of course it only unlocks once you get Samara. And she said she wanted a place where she could see space, or I believe she referred to it as something like the dark void, empty void, something like that. Which is, kind of creepy. But, as you can see here, does have a nice view of the stars.
What's this area of the ship?
This is one of the ship's observation decks. They provide a sweeping outside view for off-duty personnel.
This room is a structural weakness. Any transparent material is weaker than our armor.
The elusive man predicted you would object. In combat, the observation rooms are sealed and depressurized. Sheets of ablative armor are extended to cover the windows.
Alright, I suppose that makes it okay. Anything else in here? Doesn't look like it, in which case, let's chat a bit with Samara. Say... Oh.
Shepard.
Yeah. So, your eyes are a little bit creepy, but why not? Let's talk.
How are you?
I've spent much of the last 400 years on my own. It is nice to have a colleague to chat with. I may be rusty at it, however. If you are patient, I would love to talk.
Okay, also rather creepy and unsettling, but, how are your thoughts about our mission? You're kind of you are our newest recruit, and so maybe you haven't heard too much about it just yet.
How much do you know about our mission?
I know that I've sworn an oath to follow you, and that you seek to destroy the Collectors. That is enough for me.
You're not curious about more? You're just gonna blindly follow us?
You don't want to know why the collectors need to be fought?
When you live by a code that compels you to harsh action, you learn the dangers of curiosity. If I must kill a man because he has done wrong, do I really wish to know that he is a devoted father?
Yeah, see, like, that's the thing. That's kind of why having a black and white moral code is probably not generally a good thing, because life is just full of gray, and if you try to treat all that gray as black or white, chances are you're missing out on a lot of things that you should be considering in some cases. You know, like, maybe you don't just kill everyone who is mildly frustrating to work with and gets in your way. Maybe, you know, you can spare people every now and again. Say, helpless people who have lost their weapons and, you know, are, I don't know, say, like, maybe, like, pinned by the bottom of your boot. What about your investigation? The one that we, technically, I mean, we were helping you with, getting the information about the ship on which the Ardat Yakshi that you're trying to pursue is apparently located?
I'd like to hear more about the criminal you were chasing on Nos Astra.
I hope you will understand if I wish to avoid this topic. It is deeply tied to my code and beliefs. You might say it is personal.
Oh. Oh. I mean, it could potentially affect the mission, yes, but sounds like maybe that's kind of, hold on, Shepard. Too soon, man. Too soon. So, okay, we'll be patient in that case. But, what about Cerberus? As I think we were saying when she first joined, it was a little strange that she was saying something about how, you know, it was high praise that Jacob was complimenting her when she stepped on the ship, because, coming from Cerberus, it's not exactly a common thing for them to be complimenting Asari, but then again, Cerberus is very pro-human and, by extension, very anti-other species, so it's not the most natural of fits. And then again, Investigator Anaya was saying how she doesn't know of any Justicars who have ever partnered with humans, let alone humans that work for Cerberus.
What do you think of Cerberus?
I've heard rumors, but learned long ago to form my own impressions. There is too much room for interpretation in the opinions of others.
But the thing is, you kind of work for Cerberus now?
Why were you willing to work for Cerberus when you didn't have first-hand knowledge?
I work for you, Shepard. Our methods may be different, but our goals are not.
Okay, you know, that's an interesting perspective. I suppose you're not wrong about that. But that does appear to be the only thing that we can ask you about, or at least the last thing we can ask you about.
I should get back to work.
It has been my pleasure, Commander.
So, that's Samara. Definitely a little quirky, a little aloof. But you know, as she said, spending 400 years, primarily by yourself, can make chatting maybe a little bit tougher, you know? Maybe a little bit harder to strike up a conversation with people in that case. Then, other side is where Kasumi is. See if she has anything new to say to us.
Hey, got a minute?
Yeah?
Gabby and Ken would make a great couple. I just doubt they'll ever realize it.
Yeah. Those are the engineers downstairs.
The Normandy runs so quietly. I'm not used to hearing my footsteps when I walk.
I think we might have heard these before.
One of the girls in navigation thinks she might be pregnant. Even aboard a Cerberus vessel, life finds a way.
Yeah. I think we have. In which case, let us carry on. Anyone in the crew quarters? Or at least anything new happening here? There are people here, but they don't exactly seem to be the chatty type. They seem to be more the silently stare at each other unblinkingly type. Yeah, okay, you do you. Alright, then. Don't expect anything new from Dr. Chakwas over here. Anything new from these peoples? I think so. Miranda, of course, also has a loyalty mission that she wants us to do, and so she may not want to talk to us about anything else, much like
If
the
we
other
have
people.
time, I'd like to go to Ilium and relocate my sister's family.
such as Jacob and Morden that we were talking to earlier. So, yeah, that does seem to be the case.
Of course, Commander.
But, as Kelly was saying, Garrus really wants to talk to us. So, alright, let's catch up with Garrus.
Shepard, I'm glad you came by. I've got something. I may need your help. You remember Sidonus, the one who betrayed my team? I found a lead on him.
Oh?
There's a specialist on the Citadel named Fade. He's an expert at helping people disappear. Sidonus was seen with him.
Seems like this Fade guy is not nearly as good at fading into the background as he'd like us to believe if he was seen with Sidonus. But, alright, so remind us a little bit more about how exactly this betrayal took place.
What happened? How did Sidonus betray your team?
He tipped off the mercs, told them where our base was. He drew me out with a false job, then let the mercs hit my team. My men weren't prepared. They tried to hold them off. By the time I got back, there were only 2 survivors. They didn't last long. All 10 of them dead. Because of him.
Yeah, I mean, anything else about this guy?
What are you planning to do when you find him?
You humans have a saying, an eye for an eye, a life for a life. He owes me 10 lives, and I plan to collect.
Ooh, that's harsh. I mean, cool. Cool line, but harsh.
You sure that's how you want to play it?
I'm sure. I don't need you to agree with me, but I'd like your help.
Alright, well, I mean, we can't say no to Garrus, right?
We're in. Find Fade.
I've arranged a meeting. We'll meet him in a warehouse near the Neon Markets down on Zakera Ward. Thanks, Shepard. I appreciate you taking the time to help me.
Alright, so, that's, in case you couldn't tell, is in fact Garrus's loyalty mission, and that line was not a coincidence. It is in fact called Eye for an Eye. Garrus has learned the location of Sidonus, the mole who betrayed his team. Back on Omega this was, of course. He was last seen on the Citadel in the company of Fade, a forger who specializes in helping people disappear. Look for more information about Fade at the Citadel in the Widow system located in the Serpent Nebula. Of course, we know what the Citadel is. But, hold on. We have a different update here? Looks like our journal was still flashing there, but... Oh, just that we finished the Justicar, of course. And we also should have finished the mission for turning in that stuff there. Did I go past it? I must have. Oh yeah, smuggling evidence, there it is. So as I was saying, if you leave that area before you get the chance to talk to Anaya or Niptukal, then you will just have this mission incomplete, or might be grayed out and just failed. So, that's not good. That's not good. So that's Garrus's loyalty mission. Add that one to the list of things that we will definitely do. Just not sure if it is top of the priority list just yet, because I think top of the priority list at the moment is, for the most part, getting more team members. Because we do still have a few more that we can pick up. Then, I believe that was the last of the full squad members here on the crew's quarters. I mean, other than, say, Dr. Chakwas, but don't think she's going to have anything new to say to us. Let's duck back down here to engineering, though. And we shall see if the peoples down here have anything new to say to us. Like Saeed?
Back for more?
I'm afraid we are.
I was trying to remember how many Cerberus operatives I've killed. Lost track around 50.
I mean,
guess your
okay.
elusive man's big on forgiveness.
Ooh. I mean, the thing is, we could turn that one right around and say, how many Blue Suns have we killed? I mean, I don't know if it's 50, but it might be close. And then again, I mean, I suppose Zaid is, despite the person who co-founded the Blue Suns, not exactly Blue Suns loyalist right now. In fact, would probably be happy to hear about how many Blue Suns we've murdered. So, I guess maybe that's not exactly the equivalent, but let's see if there's anything else he has to say.
Get a knife stuck in the right way, and it can pull that plate right off of Krogan's head.
Oh.
It's the best way to get a Krogan to talk. The threat of it drives him mad.
Understandably. I feel like we might have heard that one already, though.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
Alright. Then... our tank is over there. Over here, down here, we have Jack. Let's make forward talking to her. Where'd you go? Here you are.
I need to get to Pragia, Shepard. Soon.
And, well, of course, Jack is another one of the people who has a loyalty mission that we've not yet done, so that's top of her mind. And doesn't really want to talk about anything else.
Meanwhile, I have to go.
Yep.
Understandably. Oh, that is the opposite direction where I wanted to go. Anything from Engineer Donnelly and Daniels doesn't look like it this time. So, these are the two that, assuming was saying to make a good couple, they just don't seem to realize it. But that's the last of the peoples down here, so let's head on back up. And
No messages for you, Commander.
thank you, Kelly. Before we forget, I was thinking it might be worth heading back through our mass relay over here. And remember how I was saying there is reason to do one of the primary reasons why we did the Shadow Broker mission, Lair of the Shadow Broker, so quickly was that you can go back to the Shadow Broker base and continue to get some benefits over the course of the rest of your playthrough. So, before we forget, let's go there now. And I do believe we're going to want to refuel quite a bit. Oh no, we did refuel already, so we're fine. I take it back. Because it is a fair distance. Get over there. And this time we actually know what direction it's in, so that's helpful. Make a straight shot. Make it a little bit faster. So now if we go back here to Hagalaz, where the Shadow Broker base is, we can land. Let's do that. And don't worry, we don't need to we don't need to fight through all the enemies through here again. It'll instead just take us to this area where we, of course, did fight the Shadow Broker, but now has become just the base of operations for Liara, and the drone is still here. Still the dossiers. I don't think we read all of them last time, and we may even get more dossiers as we continue to recruit more team members, but we also have our investments that we can, well, see if we get some results from and potentially invest in again. So let's see. Mission report ready for warning signal. Let's check it out. I mean, so remember, basically these are all things that we purchased previously. We purchased them for varying amounts of credits, but we didn't really know what was going to happen at the time. So, I mean, we're hoping that eventually, at least, they're gonna return more credits than we had to spend to buy them initially. So let's see. At this point, any of them that we already invested in, we're not going to need to purchase again. We just get the follow-up. So let's see the mission report for a warning signal. Success! Admiral Hackett and the 5th Fleet have ambushed the colony raiding pirates. So we get 2,000 credits out of it. I don't recall as to exactly how many credits we spent on it, but then we have a bureaucracy in action, which may be one that we saw previously. I think this is one that we're gonna avoid that one. Then blue listed is how this previously. The Blue Suns are becoming dangerously powerful. Run a galaxy-wide expose on their corruption and tendency to turn on their employers. It will send business to their competitors. This is another one that I think we want to pass on. Then Smear Campaign. We're just getting the report for this one. Let's check it out. Success! The politician retires from public service after your smear campaign. So, I don't think we really get an overview on what the previous investment was. It's just that we get the update on it, which you can kind of remember based on what it's saying here. But, the most important thing is that we get 5,000 credits from that one. Has to be more than we spent on that. Then, let's see. So, as an update for this one, we now have Just Reward, or maybe that is just a new one altogether. Oh no, this is one that we invested in previously, yep. So we can get the mission report for this. Let's check it out. Doesn't cost anything. Success, the police quietly slip you a cut from their raid on the Red Sand Factory. That'll give us 3,000 credits. So let's see, that leaves us with saying, I don't think we want to do Bureaucracy in Action. I don't think we want to do Blue Listed. Mutually Assured Income, I think we also want to pass on that as well. But let's go forward with Chemical Warfare. Don't take that one out of context. At least in the game, okay? Binary Helix is trying to develop hormone implants for Alliance soldiers that fall outside the Citadel's generic treaty laws. The company is prepared to be very generous if you let them know when the Citadel inspectors are coming. So it only costs 1,000 credits, and we would love to get more credits in return, of course. So, sure, let's do it. And that was extremely dramatic music as soon as we did it. Really made me feel like a supervillain. How dare you, Lids? How evil of you. Okay, we also have the advanced training, which is basically just retraining one of our teammates, so that's not super important. But the delivery pickup is useful because every mission, or after completing every mission, we can come back here. And that's when our investments will have an update, as we just saw. And that's also when we will receive a new shipment as well. Now, this is random. It could be any one of the resources. I believe it can also be credits. And the number that you can get will also vary randomly. So, I forget what we got last time. But this time, at least, we're talking about 2,500 platinum. That's not insignificant. I think we got 2,000 platinum from our previous mission. So this is more than doubling the amount of platinum we got. So that's pretty awesome. A minister from Terra Nova has sent platinum for the planet's reserves for favors rendered. Let's do it. It's just free platinum. It's free real estate, Jim.
Shepard, I'm glad you came.
Thanks, Liara. I totally came here to check in on you, and not just because I wanted to get more credits and resources. I totally just came here because we wanted more credits and resources, but don't tell Liara. Alright then, Theron is still back here.
Hard copy archive backups to 2 days from now.
I say we might want to change the music. It was just a little too intense for my liking. But, I don't think there's ever going to be anything new on the video archive. I don't think Farron's going to have anything new to say to us, so for the most part, those things we're just doing are the things that we're going to want to check in on potentially after every mission, because the investments, I mean, there's only a finite number of those, and as we were sort of saying, there are some that we probably just want to avoid altogether, whereas the shipments from over here, we can quite literally get after every single mission, and so it is just free credits or free resources. That technically, since it does takes a somewhat significant amount of fuel to get here, it's not actually free. It's, you know, what? Like, I don't know, maybe
16 Quarians returning, and 5 leaving the flotilla today. 2 are embarking on pilgrimage.
Thank you. But, I also completely lost my train of thought. It's maybe more along the order of, like, I don't know, 100, 200 credits worth of, fuel to get here. I'm actually not entirely sure how much it would cost. But, so, you know, it just means between the investment updates and the delivery pickups, are you getting at least 200-ish credits worth of value? I mean, hopefully you are. I mean, that's potentially a reason to not go as aggressive on planet mining or planet probing if you know that you're going to do Lair of the Shadowbroker early and maximize the amount of resources you get from this. Because, you know, every one of those that we pick up is, I mean, that was more than the amount we would get from many of the probes, I think. Also totally missed what you just said. But, alas, I think, you know, unless we want to go do more dossier read-ups, which we could do, but not sure I'm necessarily feeling it at the moment. See, we've done... I think we've done everyone here except... Did we do Garrus? I think we did. We've definitely not done Samara. Obviously, we only just got the information about her because she only just joined our party. Kasumi, I think we did as well. Cerberus, I think we did. Captain Bailey, we did not. Arya, we did not. Captain Anderson, I don't think we did. Hackett, I don't think we did. Shatterbroker, we might have. Also, it's classified, which is the only one that says classified, interestingly enough. But, I think we'll save that stuff for a future occasion. At least for now. Let's head on back. Spend points on a squad screen? Oh, okay, no messages. Thanks, Kelly. That's a little bit odd that it's... Oh, are you telling it? Oh, specifically for us, yes. Because now we can actually afford to go with incendiary ammo rank 4, which would mean we can get down to squad incendiary ammo, which would be nice, because that means that we can finally have a source of squad ammo available to us when and wherever we need it. Don't need to be relying on, say, Zaid for disruptor ammo, or who else have been our ammo people? I mean, Jacob for incendiary ammo, yes. But it does mean also that once we take this, then certainly teammates that have incendiary ammo are suddenly not nearly as important. Sorry, Jacob. Not that you were terribly important from a squad synergy standpoint to begin with, but your key reason why we took you in the past was because we rushed squad incendiary ammo for you. And as soon as we take this, pretty much the only reason for taking you is gone, because we have squad incendiary ammo then. We also have pull, so does Jacob. Then Jacob has like 1 or 2 passive abilities to increase his health and weapon damage, I think. But, well, we're also better at that. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world to have 2 people do the same thing, just because it means twice as many pulls, and so it's easier to do crowd control. That is nice, but incendiary ammo, at least, squad incendiary ammo specifically, there's no additional benefit to having multiple people using that, so just means that from here on out, we would want to be mindful of other teammates not being as aggressive with their ammo powers, unless, of course, it's something entirely different from incendiary ammo, because this specializes in dealing damage to armor, whereas, say, Zaid's disruptor ammo specializes in dealing damage to shields. Jack's warp ammo, damage to barriers, so on and so forth. So, you know, we might still bring Zaid if we know we're going to run into a bunch of shielded enemies, or bring Jack at least once we get that warp ammo, if we know we're going to run into a lot of barrier enemies, so on, so forth. Could even mean that at least in the case of Jacob, it would be worth respecking him to take off his points on incendiary ammo and instead put them on other abilities. And again, it does cost element 0, and it's not like we are using Jacob very often, so we just may not bother to spend the resources on that, but we'll play it by ear a little bit.